So depending on your process for doing descriptions and pictures, this part may vary a little bit. But I do my descriptions. I compile them all here in Google Docs. I actually use ChatGPT or Claude to help me organize them, get them organized into bullet points. And then I put them all in here, and I have them ready to go. So I just copy and paste, and then cut and paste, some keyboard shortcuts, prices. When you paste your price in, it automatically defaults to, it adds the decimal point to account for cents, so you have to make sure to change your price, because otherwise you'd be selling it for quite a bit less than you intended to. Once you have your price, or once you have your basic details, your title and your description in, you can either drop your pictures in, which that's what I usually do. I have my pictures made in iPhoto. I've also done them in Photoshop and Affinity Photo, but right now the iPhoto is where I'm doing them all. So you just grab them, bring them and drop them into this images box right here. So upload them. And then once they're done uploading, time here, pictures. You can actually move them around into the order that you prefer. And then you hit create, and that basically saves that file. And then from there it gives you the option to hit autofill. And this is kind of where the magic of Uploadify works for listing across platforms and filling in a lot of the redundant information. So hit autofill, give it a couple seconds, it takes your information, extrapolates it, and then plugs it into all the different boxes that it finds appropriate. Another thing, you can upload your videos right now, which I don't have videos on my computer, but I can log in with my phone and then upload my videos from my phone onto here. But it's also a real nice way to add videos to your listings if that's something that you do. So from there, after you do the autofill, it gets most things perfect. Like, I haven't had to correct a whole lot of things. The only thing is you have options here for filling in, your cost and wholesale, some bookkeeping things. This is going to be a bookkeeping system for you. But the category, it'll take these categories and then apply those to the platform that you're listing on. And in this case, eBay, Etsy, and Ruby Lane, and it nails it pretty good with general categories. And then if you have stores in those, you can grab your stores and put the items into the stores, into the store categories that apply. And for me, that's typically it. I also like to double check the keywords and the tags that it throws in, like 1920s, 30s chains. I don't really think someone's going to be. Sure, we'll leave those. But a lot of time there's a tag or two that just really don't make sense. And then you also have the option of adding a tag, say 1930s Chinese import. That might be too long. It worked, okay. So yeah, you can add another tag, and Once you've gone through this a couple times, you kind of understand the nuances of what you need to double check and change. And for me, that pretty much covers it. Usually I can get through this stage really quick. Just do the autofill, make 1 or 2 changes, double check everything, and then you hit save. And from here, if you feel like it's done and ready to list, then you just hit finalize. And the one thing I wanted to mention is this title right here. I have it in all bold because that's how I like to list on eBay. I like to have my eBay titles in bold, and then on Ruby Lane and Etsy I have them capitalized, so the first letter is a capital letter and the rest are lowercase. And this Uploadify, it will automatically take titles that are all caps and convert them into capitalized titles on Ruby Lane and Etsy. So if that's something that you do, if you like to have your eBay titles in all caps, all uppercase, then it will do that for you. And if you don't, if you just like to have it all capitalized, then capitalize the title here, and it will put it in capitalized on all the platforms. And I don't know about lowercase. If you like to do all lowercase, I'm not sure. But from this point, you hit finalize, and it's ready to list. Typically, what I do is I'll get all my listings ready, and then I'll list them in bulk. But for this demonstration, I will just go ahead and show you. If you click on the Finalize tab, the items that you have ready to list will be sitting in there. And you can see I have the fish pendant, which we just worked on, and I also have a lot of non-jewelry items. And that's because Uploadify is a jewelry-specific platform, and these are items that I'll go ahead and list them with Uploadify, but you can see they're in like cufflinks and rings categories and so on. So as soon as I list them, I'm going to have to go in and change the listings on all 3 platforms to non-jewelry categories. So I have talked to the guy that developed this, and he's working on trying to add other categories, and they'll add specific categories that we're looking for if we push them forward a little bit. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. You can do it. It just takes a little bit more time. I find it still saves me time to list the non-jewelry items and then go in and change the listings than it does for me to list those items the old way that I used to list. So anyways, when you have this finalized, you're ready to actually start listing. So you can check it, and then you hit upload. And when you hit upload, you have the different platforms that are available to upload to. And I use eBay, Etsy, and Ruby Lane. So if you're a First Dibs, Shopify, or Cherish, which that's a new addition since last time I was here, they must have just completed developing that. And if you're on one of those platforms as well, you can select those, but I'm not familiar with how that works. So yeah, from there you hit upload, and it automatically starts uploading those to eBay and Etsy, because it probably has an API where it can just automatically interface with the platform and get it uploaded. And for Ruby Lane, they've actually developed a Google Chrome plugin that, or an extension that you can use for listing on Ruby Lane, and that's really what brought me to this product. That's something that I had been looking for a while, and when I found it, I was pretty stoked. So once you have hit upload and items are uploading, they'll be in this processing tab right here. And you can see they're working on eBay and Etsy, but they're probably already in there. If you hit refresh, then there you go, it disappears. And so that pendant is listed on eBay and Etsy right now. Let's see, we can go eBay, $1 newly listed. There's one that I just did this morning. It's not coming up in the listing yet. Maybe in list view. It will be there in a second. I'm sure of that. And then Etsy. Active. There we go. So it's on Etsy. And I have my price setting, eBay and Etsy items up a little bit to account for the extra fees. So it automatically does that. And there we go. So let's see if it's showing on eBay yet. The system is lagging behind a little bit. Okay, that's all right. Let's go and get the other one listed on Ruby Lane. So this one right here, you can see the drafts part is gone because those items are no longer waiting to be, they're no longer in a queue to be listed. But you see over here in this tab, upload queue, there's still one item. And that's because we have to actually upload this item. It's set to go to Ruby Lane, and we haven't done that yet. So we know that that one is set. What we can do is go to the Ruby Lane list your item form, and when you get there, as long as your item is ready to be listed, then you hit the attach images button here, and it brings up this box, which normally you would just drop your images into, but now you're going to start using the Uploadify extension. And so right here, this little puzzle piece right here, which brings up the extensions, and you will find your Uploadify extension. It brings it up. And you can select your primary picture and your other picture. And once you see those all completely load, and this attach button right here comes up, you have that option to attach it. In the tutorials, they tell you to hit attach, but you can actually skip a step here and just hit details, and it'll attach the photos to the listing and automatically start filling in the other information. But once you hit the details button right here, you don't want to click your mouse or hit your keyboard at all until it's done filling in the information. So right now I'm going to hit details, and I usually just lean back in my chair and watch it. And I watch what it's filling in. As it's filling it in, it goes pretty fast. And I try to catch and make sure if any of the information is irrelevant or if anything needs to be added. So here we go. We're going to hit the details button and watch it do its magic here. It's doing all this by itself. I'm literally just sitting back in my chair watching. And Ruby Lane's not that hard to list on, but when you do 10 or 15 items a day, or you sit down and do 30 items. Just ticking all those little boxes over and over again, it gets a little bit redundant. It's pretty nice having that all done. So yeah, now that that has filled in all of the information that you wanted to fill in, you can just hit next product. And if you have a queue of products, then it'll be ready for the next listing that you're going to do when you're ready to do it. So I hit next product, and because that was the only one that was in the queue, it says tasks complete. And then go down to the bottom of the listing page and hit add item, and there you go. It is added. And then yeah, from there, if you list on Ruby Lane, you have a few minutes maybe to change your AIP if you want to, which it feels like that time has gotten much shorter now. Let's see if I even have time to modify this. Nope. So it's pretty much instant now that these are submitted, but that's okay. The primary image may not be changed. Yeah, so make sure you have the image you want when you hit the add item button, because your AIPs go in instantly. And let's just go back and double check that. See how bad eBay's lagging here. Okay, there we go. So that was it. That is how you can list jewelry on eBay, Etsy, and Ruby Lane pretty efficiently. And the other nice thing about Uploadify is when an item sells, it will delist that item on eBay or Etsy automatically. It will not delist on Ruby Lane, but my priority has always been trying to get things delisted on eBay as soon as they sell, because if something sells twice, unfortunately, because of eBay's policies, it kind of dictates that the eBay sale has to be completed. So yeah, that was a high priority for me, was having some system that could automatically remove items. Say if I'm out shopping or I'm just not in an area where I can remove them quickly. At least this way I know items will be removed from eBay quickly. So that in itself is a huge attribute to using this product. So that pretty well covers it. If you enjoyed this video, then leave me a like, and if you want more informational videos like this, or you just want to hang out and see some jewelry sales and hang out with a bunch of really cool people, then subscribe and make sure to hit that bell for all the notifications, and join us whenever you can. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.